Welcome back, VRTO 2020. We're Archiact, an independent VR/AR entertainment studio in Vancouver, Canada. You're watching Archiact vs. Archiact, a show where two of our lead developers face off to debate the industry's hottest issues. Some people live the PC gaming life through a custom-built rig for optimal FPS, while others take their mobile headset to a friend's place to blow their mind. Today we ask the question, for those about to take the plunge into the world of VR, which diving board should they spring from? PC VR or mobile VR? Looking through his index of ideas to argue for PC gaming today is Archiact's lead designer Tyler McCulloch, while questing in favor of mobile VR is Archiact's creative director Seb Bozak.
What is better for consumer in VR is really to go straight to the mobile VR. And I'll tell you why. The very first argument that I have is the tether, indeed. Just the tether for me, the lack of tether is opening up the freedom for the users. Now you can play your VR in your basement, in the bus, although I would argue who really wants to play VR in the bus, but you know, the freedom of playing anywhere you want. It's like, you know, back in the days when Nintendo had all these Game Boy and things like that. It was a revolution, and the reason why you didn't need to be facing your screen in the living room.
For me, I really think that the high-end VR market is what is best for consumers. I think if we get that price down to a reasonable place, what do they really want? They want to be fully immersed. We don't have the horsepower in our mobile market for VR, even the Quest. Yes, I agree that there's some sort of advantage to being able to take this places and do VR anywhere, so to speak. A counterpoint to that is it's convenient for moments, but ultimately, where am I going to play it the most? I'm still going to play it at home. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to have the same moving space as whether I had a tethered VR with my PC or whether I had my Quest. It's going to be that same thing with you're talking about your Game Boy, you're talking about the DS. Yes, I could take it on the bus. How often did I do that versus just sitting on the couch playing while something else is on?
It's a good point, but here's my counter argument. Two things. The initial investment to play on PC requires a couple of $1,000s at the end of the day. No matter how low you want to go with your specs, you're still gonna need a powerful machine, an investment, graphic card. Everything is gonna need to be like to the top if you want to really experience what VR games are. So the budget part and the space to me are still very much the gates in a way for bringing more users. A lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, I tried my friend's house. That was awesome, but I can't afford the amount of money it takes to play VR." Right?
You have a television?
I do indeed, yeah.
You have a large television?
It's a regular size, I would say. Yeah. I mean,
how much did your television cost?
I think it probably cost me $400 or something like that.
Just for a TV?
Yeah, just for a TV. Mm-hmm. Right. Tried to get it cheaper, but that was, I think, what I could afford at this time. So.
We do games, and we want to do interactive experiences, but in terms of the hardware, at least to me, I find it's analogous to a television set. Mm-hmm. It's another viewing device that you can have. I would agree that the costs of things were high, but just like television sets, they start crashing, and so to me, at this stage, the ability to invest in an PC VR or high-end VR is way lower than it was just a couple years ago. I would agree prices are expensive just in general, and we need to get everything down, but that's kind of an organic thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I think, look, it's pretty simple. We've been developing here in our studio games for PC VR, and we've also ported some of this game. Our recent Free Diver has been ported on the Quest. The Quest is, to me, the platform that would help potentially VR become more mainstream. Because you can also bring it to try with your sister at home. You can bring it to your friends so they can play the Beat Saber that they've heard so much but they never had a chance to try. You're gonna have this opportunity to share the experience with other people just by bringing that small device in your backpack and bringing it home.
what makes mainstream better for consumers?
For consumers, I don't know directly for consumers, but what I know is that more consumers means developers have a better chance to continue and pursue what they're doing, which is trying to push the boundaries of VR, and again getting more revenue. So that money or the investment money will help more developers to start looking into VR instead of just looking at those regular consoles or PC gaming. And hopefully in the near future, we'll just talk about gaming in general. In the future, it would help also large developers start considering VR a bit more, because they won't see this as a niche. They will see this part of another way of playing games, right? If tomorrow Activision was deciding to release a Call of Duty VR, do you think it would help, whether it's on PC or Quest, right? Do you think it would help actually bring more people, more audience, if they would know that next year we're going to release the Quest Call of Duty and it's all physicality, you can crouch, you can do this thing, you can throw your grenade, you can do all those gestural reloading thing that we've seen in other VR shooter games. But now it's the brand Call of Duty, so it's like, must be serious, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is that, do you think it would help bringing what I call the mainstream console market and slowly shift it into VR?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm using this example, sorry, it's not just Call of Duty per se, right? But
yeah,
it's a very famous IP that
big
sells
titles,
a lot, so.
Bigger investment does bring more consumption into VR. To that argument, I would probably agree that there is some level of, you need to seed more, you need to have more interest, and it becomes cyclical at that point. The more interest there is, the more consumption is, the more profit is, the more you can try different things. The counter to that being, what are the biggest titles? Where have we seen the biggest success has been on PC. Also, the market on the Quest is very small right now.
Yeah.
Eventually we're going to get to the same noise as we see on Steam. But what we see in terms of like, what are the biggest games that have been recently? It's like Half-Life, Boneworks, still Beat Saber.
And they don't exist on Quest, I would agree. They don't exist yet. So.
Because those really visceral, big feeling moments is what the current demand is. And the people that get excited about a Boneworks game or Alex game in terms of that like AAA feel, or just like, I can do anything, we currently can't do on the Quest in the same way.
Yeah, I would agree on this one. I think Quest is the version 1.0 of what eventually the future of VR will be. It will take a more powerful version of Quest, I think, to help developing VR in general, the market, bringing more users, making it hopefully becoming more mainstream, or at least going to the direction of being mainstream. So on that part, I would agree. And I think the day you will see a game like Half-Life, Bonework, so the day you will see these games, right, you will eventually start getting more interest from even current VR users into investing in Quest. And I would agree, if you already own your computer, you already own a Vive or a Rift, then why would you invest in the Quest, right? Why would you play the same kind of game you're playing on your high-res PC in a lower-res version? Unless you're looking for that mobility, indeed. And unless you're looking for that accessibility and that component of sharing maybe with friends, in a more accessible way. But in terms of performances and the type of game that you would find, I would definitely agree with you that playing those games on PC VR is right now the only way you can actually enjoy them, and get the whole power and the whole I would say perks that comes with these kind of games.
And I would agree with you that in order to evangelize VR, being more portable and being able to share with your friends and with your family and taking this with you to places is a better choice for that.
Beautiful.
Oh, we all ended up agreeing at the end. So amicable.
And there you have it. Whose platform seems the most stable? Tyler's or Seb's? Tweet us at Archiact VR and at VRTO20 to give us your 2 cents and help us continue the conversation in the VRTO Discord. Thanks, and we'll see you later.